what's going on, man? Today is October the 7th, 2024. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show. Yesterday, I did not do the previews as I said that I would. So we're off track one day, but we'll double up today and get all four teams that's supposed to be previewed yesterday on Sunday and today. So we're going to jump right into it for today. If you're watching the video, hit the like button for me as you join. It's definitely helpful. Remember, we do these previews so we can stay ready and not have to get ready as we get ready for as we prepare for the NBA season. So let's jump right into it. A quick reminder, yesterday was supposed to be Portland and Pacers, so that's what we'll cover in this video. And the Phoenix Suns and the Miami Heat preview will be out before today ends as well. So if you missed any of the other ones, all of the links for those are over on the YouTube page, so definitely check them out. Go back and catch up on any team that it is that you want. Let's jump into it. First team up we got is the Portland Trailblazers. Won't be on this team for too long. Don't feel like I want to waste my time talking about this team for too much, but always trying to just make sure I'm not overriding a person or a team and figuring out how I can make some money or lack thereof. How can I fade a team? And this Portland team went 21-61 last season straight up. 40-41-1 against the number. They were double-digit dogs 35 times last season, which was the third most of any team in the NBA. They ended up losing 15 of their last 17 games. They shut down a couple people. And, the team really looks a lot like it looked last year. I mean, outside of going and adding Didi Avdija, you get Devontae Graham coming over from San Antonio Spurs, and they draft Donovan Clingan, who I think is going to be pretty good. They need another big, especially with Robert Williams continuing to be hurt. Somebody that they can kind of run the offense through and somebody that they can pair with Scoot Henderson. So I like that. You need them to, you want to develop. Of course, it'll be another developmental year. Last year was the first year that the Portland Trailblazers didn't have Damian Lillard, as a part of the team in quite some time. And, you could absolutely see it. Coach Chauncey Billups looked stressed a lot of times on the sideline last year. So that's the goal, right? You want to build around Scoot Henderson, Shaedon Sharpe, and now Clingan. Robert Williams and Shaedon Sharpe already, had some setbacks as far as injuries before this season, before the preseason has actually even started. They're both expected to miss a little bit of time, so that doesn't bode well for Portland Trailblazers, especially Robert Williams III, who seems like he just can't ever get right, even from his days in Boston. There's potential that Chauncey could be let go this season, especially if the team starts off a little slow, just to kind of bring in some new energy. This team is, you guys can see in the bottom right corner, they're projected to only win 22 games, which is, I think, the third lowest win total in the NBA, behind only, I want to say, the Washington Wizards and the Brooklyn Nets. So they're not projected to do well. They also got the most difficult schedule in the NBA this season. 11 games with the rest advantage, only 9 without it, which is not, too crazy. This is a very young team as well, but I mean, you can see the odds, right? To make the playoffs, 2,500, to win the championship, I think it's like 100,000 to 1, and then to win the division, 750,000 as well. So this team is not projected to do well. The reason. Last thing I'll say about the Portland Trailblazers, if you go back and just look at, okay, Chris, they're not going to do well. Why didn't they do well last season? A large part was due to their offense. They just really, really struggled to score the basketball. This was the second worst offense in the WNBA as far as points per 100 possessions. They ranked second worst as far as effective field goal percentage. They shot just 50.5%, which was the worst. They turned the ball over at the third highest rate, and they lost by average of 10.3 points per 100 possessions. So this was not a great offense. The defense also wasn't that great either. They were fourth worst in effective field goal percentage. They gave up a ton of offensive rebounds, the second most. They also fouled at the third highest rate in the NBA. So there's a lot that needs to be fixed in Portland. One offseason to add Didi Avdija and Clingan is not going to get the job done. I could go on and kind of look through the numbers, but that's really just what it comes down to. They struggled to get out and score in transition. They struggled in the half court. They was the worst offense as far as points scored per 100 possessions. And I'm thinking that it's going to be a lot of the same this season. They also struggled to shoot the basketball. Like, it was just not a lot to be desired with this team last season. So, I almost want to send them a postcard and tell them get well soon, Portland Trailblazers, because it's going to be another year, just growth and development. The 22.5 wins, I think if I had to play it, I would look towards the under, but I'm not playing the Portland Trailblazers. I think that they could have a historically bad season again this year, though. I don't see a lot of upside for this team, not currently. And I think they also want to move on Jeremy Grant. Jeremy Grant got paid the major deal, which is why Dame ended up, I think that was his last straw for Dame 2 years ago when he did end up getting that big contract. And now you can't really move him off the books because you paid him so much money, and nobody wants to pay Jeremy Grant that amount of money, based on his contract. So yeah, Portland's in a really, really tough bind right now, and just kind of going backwards as a franchise. Let's go to a franchise that is on the up and up, a very, very exciting franchise, and that'll be the Indiana Pacers. This Indiana Pacers team last season was a lot better than what I think a lot of people thought that they would be. 47-36. Straight up 44-36-3 against the number, one of the best ATS numbers in the NBA. And they went 8-9 in the playoffs before getting swept to the Boston Celtics without Tyrese Halliburton due to injury in that series. Holly led the league in assists last season. They made it to the in-season tournament, in-season tournament championship game before losing to the Lakers. Afterwards, they traded for Pascal Siakam. They beat an injured Bucks team in the first round. They beat an injured Knicks team in the second round before, like I said, end up losing to Boston. Before they ended up losing to Boston, and I think it was the semifinals. Ben Mathurin was a key contributor that didn't finish the season with them. He ended up suffering season-ending surgery in March to repair a torn right labrum. He's rehabbed that. Looks really, really good. Just kind of watching him in the offseason so far. This is a very deep team, very deep supporting cast with TJ McConnell, who was one of the better 6 men off the bench last season. The Pacers can score with anybody. This was one of the better offenses that we've seen in quite some time. Defensively, still not championship worthy in my opinion, although I think that they will take some strides in that opinion, in that department this year. They just got to address that. They really got to address that. Maybe they make some trades. We'll see how things go. You can see in the offseason, they bring over Malik Beasley. He comes over from the Milwaukee Bucks. James Wiseman is added. That gives him a little bit of size as well. And then they re-sign Quentin Jackson, James Johnson again, Andrew Nembhard, Pascal Siakam, Obi Toppin. All of those guys are back. And the only person they really lost is Jalen Smith, which Jalen Smith played well for them last season, but adding James Wiseman shouldn't be too much of a drop-off, and you should be able to get back with a little bit of what you lost. You can see strength of schedule-wise, they behind the, outside of the Denver Nuggets, they got the easiest schedule in the NBA this season. Rest advantage in 10 games, rest disadvantage in 12. This is a pretty young team still, and 14 back-to-backs, which is the second fewest in the NBA this season. Championship odds 66-1 to win the Central Division, which I think is possible, just depending on how hard they want to go in the regular season. Plus 400, and then the regular season win total projected at 46.5. So they're projected to finish in the top half of the Eastern Conference. It's going to be, kind of hectic and crowded in that space, in my opinion. But with a full off season to kind of get acclimated, to get Siakam acclimated to the offense and really kind of figure out what it is that they want to do, get Ben Mathurin back. Hopefully he can stay healthy for the full season. I do think that that's going to, help this team rise a little bit more. Now, you could say the Pacers got lucky last season because they, got the whole Eastern Conference was just beat up. It was brutal watching the playoffs last season because everybody was missing one or two key contributors, in my opinion. But the Pacers should be, in that top part of the Eastern Conference. It's going to be crowded with the Knicks, 76ers, the Bucks looking to contend, who were down Giannis and Dame, for parts of the playoffs last season. The Cleveland Cavaliers, the Boston Celtics. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can make a push this season. I think that everything is priced appropriately. If Tyrese Halliburton doesn't get hurt last season, Ben Mathurin doesn't get hurt last season, maybe that changes the trajectory of this Pacers team. But you could also say that for the teams who lost players, because of course we know everybody outside of the Boston Celtics, even the Boston Celtics too, with Porzingis, just ended up losing players and they were down bodies, all of these top teams. So we'll see, what the Pacers can do. I don't feel confident making any kind of bet on this team right now, but the Pacers, they were able to find a lot of success last season, specifically, like I said, because of their offense. You just put the numbers to, what I'm talking about to kind of back that up. This Pacers team was second in NBA in points per 100 possessions, second in effective field goal percentage. They didn't turn the ball over, turned it over at the 8th fewest rate, with Tyrese Halliburton leading the league in assists, like we talked about. And, they got to the rim because a lot of, what their offense is, a lot of pick and roll and, trying to get dunks or threes. And it worked really, really well for them. They like to get out and run in transition. They were top 10 in that department as well. They really, predicated their offense off getting out and getting, running off steals and miss shots as well. And it bowled them, really, really well. Defensively, they struggled though. Bottom 5 in points per 100 possessions allowed, opponent effective field goal percentage. They were 22nd. And they gave up a ton of offensive rebounds. So those are the things that they'll have to address. They also foul more than any other team in the NBA. So they have to address those things. But you got a really good coach over there, and I think a really solid nucleus of young players as well. So, I like this Pacers team. I'm interested to see what they can do and, kind of prove to the world that last year wasn't a fluke just because other teams were injured, because they had some injuries as well. So no bet, but those are my thoughts on the Pacers. Those are my thoughts on the Portland Trailblazers. Resources that I use to handicap, just NBA in general, WNBA in general, are right here for people who are interested. Definitely check them out. Use those referral codes if you're interested in signing up. Both of those links can be found in the description of the video. And that'll be it, man. Hit the thumbs up on the way out. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Enjoy the rest of your Monday as well. I'm out.